This is Joshua coming to you this August 23rd at 7 minutes after 7 from Edmonton, Canada. I redone my guide. I found that was important, and I'm actually using three screws with a drill bit in the center. So I got the holes already piloted all the way around, so all I do is line up the drill bit and I center the top and the bottom on the line. So I got the lines drawn at 10 and a half inches all the way along here, and 24 inches down through the center. It just leaves me enough room for the saw blade. So I should have very little waste. And so that's the first test piece that I made. I don't know if you can see the screw on there or not, but I had the center screwed down and I had the secondary screw in. And what I did yesterday, when I cut out the stack of 8, I only screwed down the center, and when I was actually using the saw, it pushed it off slightly, so those I can't use. I'm going to have to cut them down for something else. I could probably salvage them, but no sense using something that's not 100% or close to it. So this is the guide table. I think this is lesson 8 or lesson 9. And I have 8 holes already pre-piloted. I'm just going to go back here. I don't know if you can see the lines or not, but between here and here is 10 and a half inches. So I've got 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 10 and a half. So when you actually set up your jig, you set it so the point is on the 10 and a half line, the top and bottom. That brings it pretty close. That way you don't have to measure around to make sure it's right or not. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I laid it out, and I traced the outside here with a pen. I have about maybe 3/8, a quarter inch to 3/8 of an inch for my saw cut. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll be ready to cut this next set out, and I'm going to do a time test on it. If I can zoom in on the holes. You can see the holes there. I got them circled. I think this is going to work quite well. So when the time comes to lay out your plywood, you want to have some sort of guide. It's going to make a big difference in the long run. I still need to get a drill bit that's the same diameter as this re-rod. I'm going to use a re-rod to put in the center here. Well, let's go to this one here. And as you can see, I've got each one pre-marked and pre-labeled. Platform 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know what side is top, and we've got one side marked, so we can stack them identical. So as a test, I want to take the finished product and stack them on the re-rod, tighten it up, and it should be fairly close to being accurate. If there's any errors, you're going to see it in the stack. And if it's not too bad, we can just polish it up with the oscillating sander. Okay, we're getting somewhere. It's been a week nearly since the Lord commissioned me on this work, and I figure to cut this out, it should take maybe an hour. cut out these 8 pieces. That's better what I anticipated at maybe 5 or 6 an hour. So work is coming along good. And it looks like from some of the emails I got that Obama's pushing to incite a civil war by 1st of October, and also to kill the dollar. And I believe that's one of his main purposes of being in office is the second term. So once the dollar is crashed, people will basically be caught off guard, and we need to have some kind of plan to get out of Dodge, and Lord willing, this is going to help the remnant to where they can take what finances they have and start building these platforms and building the walls and the ceilings. I'm looking forward to making the next scale up, the 24-foot that you see in the back there. That's the next size panel. So the next size panel would be 4 feet across with 2 feet sides. So when you put it together, you would get 2, 4, 6. You get a 12-foot platform, and if you put another ring around it, you would get 2, 4, 6, 8. Like a 16-foot, where you can make a 24. So with the 48-inch panels, you could actually have a nice small little cabin. 16 or 24. That's quite comparable to a small home. And with the geometric under support, you can actually go to a second story. So you could actually have a loft and a half walls up top. I think that's it. I want to show you the discrepancies on these panels. So when I actually cut these out and did my check using that first test template, you can see where the black lines are out, and that's because of I only had one screw in the center. So when I put my saw against the jig, you're putting a little bit of pressure to it. It turned a little bit. So hopefully this will work out. So I checked my jig 3 times over. Make sure the sides are equal and point to point are equal, and it all checks out. So when we actually do the cutting tomorrow, we should almost have a perfect stack, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, it's getting late. Worked all day. We'll take a little break here. This is Joshua Taylor coming to you from Edmonton, Canada, on how you can build your own relocation platform to put up a small cabin or a tent or a larger home, or maybe take a bunch of them and put them together to make a community, end-time community.